Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Maybe good-looking, because you're always looking for and finding the good. You found good in abundance. Or your cup runneth over with good because you have chosen to use your most valuable asset, your time, to tune into Hug America podcast with your humble host, Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy, and my partner, Neal Foard. That's Foard, America's greatest storyteller. And at the moment, Neal is having technical issues. That's why he's not here. And Barry had a technical issue. That's why we started 10 minutes later than usual. I won't even go into what happened, but suffice to say, it was fun and we're making the best of it. And we're here now, and you're here with us for 20 minutes, and just enjoy what you have. And it's so much fun. This is Hug America. Now, HUG is a great acronym that stands for Heartfelt Unlimited Giving. Heartfelt unlimited giving. We're going to talk about that because the greatest element of giving revolves around the topic for today, which is water. That's our topic today. Water, Water in English, and very similar in other languages. And every language around the world has one or two or three designations for water. And the simple reason is because it's an essential element of life. That's right. There is no life as we know it without water. That's why it's interesting enough, we have found, not just identified because can't name them all, but we have found with the latest space probe, which I believe went up in either 2023 or the end of 2022, close to 100 trillion planets, stars, heavenly bodies. Now, when we talk about planets and stars, let's give an example of something. The Earth has a size. Let's put things in perspective. The Earth has a size. The Earth is part of what we call the solar system. The solar system is those planets that are orbiting around the sun. The solar is the sun. So everybody knows that, right? Here's a couple of things that I want to put in perspective. We and a number of other planets have things called moons that revolve around the planet itself. The Earth has one moon. It's called our moon. That's the name of any body that revolves around some other body. We call them moons. And that's where the word month, of course, comes in, because the moon has a regular pattern that we determine. We call them a month. It's very unique time every 29 days, plus minus, et cetera, et cetera. Now, here's an interesting data point that will help us get oriented. And that is that the moon is 1/4 the size of the Earth. Or put another way, the Earth is 4 times larger than the moon. Now, how about our relation to the sun? Well, the sun is 100 times larger, actually 109, 100 times larger than the Earth. So now let's give us a different orientation. Imagine you're 6 foot tall and you meet somebody who is 100 times taller than you, bigger than you. Imagine confronting somebody who's 600 feet tall. It doesn't even compute. You couldn't put your head back and look up and see somebody that tall. It's hard enough imagining if you're 6 feet, meeting somebody who's 7.5, 8 feet tall, or 8.5 feet, and they're functional. I mean, it's really disconcerting. By the same token, if you're 6 feet tall and you're looking at the moon, so the moon is going to be 1.5 feet tall because it's 1/4 your size. So getting these ideas of size gives us now another orientation, which is that, again, of water. So this planet that we call Earth, and by the way, the same letters E-A-R-T-H to spell Earth, spell the word heart, H-E-A-R-T. And I know you didn't realize that before. And when I tell it, people say, whoa, that's wonderful. I love that. So start using it. The Earth and heart have a relationship. And it's one of the reasons I believe is because we as human beings don't just reside on a planet that is called the blue planet, that is 71% water. Do you hear that? 71% of the surface of the Earth is covered by water. It's absolutely fundamental to our lives. And in addition, the human being is at least 60% water. That's right. And given examples, I'm talking about the heart. Well, the brain and the heart are 73% water. And I believe that the reason that they are more water than the general aspect of the body is because of how much energy is needed in the brain and the heart. They're actually electrical circuits. So think of this, electrical circuits that work with water and cool down those electrical circuits so that they don't overheat, which you think of sometimes. You're thinking so much, your brain hurts, you say, or your heart is racing so much, you need water to cool it down. The lungs are 83% water. Yes, because the lungs need moisture. The skin itself, 64% water. And you know that because when you go out in the daytime in the summer, and skin can dry out. Now, it's obviously not drying out, but once it goes below a certain percentage, let's say 55%, and normally 64%, the skin is literally drying out. The kidneys are 79% water. Well, hello, because that's where all the movement of flow of elimination goes through the kidneys. Your bones are 31% water. Think about that. Your bones, 30+% water. So there's water in everything about us, water on our planet. We, at this point, out of 100 trillion identifiable planets, stars, heavenly bodies, whatever you want to call them, which are plus minus the same size or much larger than the Earth. 100 trillion. We have yet to identify one that has water, and therefore an essential element of fostering and engaging and growing life as we know it. Now, life, by the way, is a wonderful word. It's an acronym. It stands for living inspirationally for eternity. Eternity. But Barry, sure, everybody knows people die and people are born. That cycle continues forever. So we, wonderful Neal and I, we encourage people to understand that when you begin your journey of you, that's the acronym for joy. Joy stands for journey of you. That you really work to make sure that all of your thoughts are good. All of your speech is good. All of your actions, your deeds are good. And then you become your own spiritual chiropractor. You align yourself in goodness. Your thoughts are good, your words are good, your deeds are good. And when that happens, you are flowing. Now, flowing, when you hear that word, right away, what do you think of? Water. Again, water is the essential element of life. Air, of course, much more necessary to continuing life. Without air for not very long, sometimes measured in seconds, certainly in a couple of minutes, you need air. Food, you can go without food for numbers of days. I have actually a close friend who went on a long fast. What I call long, it was 33 days. It was just water, no food, 33 days. Talk about another time. And water. Water you can't go without for more than a few days. And even if that, water is an essential element. We are water. Our planet is water. And the genius and greatness of life, and I believe in a creator, so the genius of the creator is not only are we water and living on a planet that is mostly water and using water for things that we need, such as fish and growing crops, creating abundance in food, but we ingest water. We cleanse ourselves with water. We use water as a mechanism of life. That's why I say life, living inspirationally for eternity. It is really so important to understand that our relationship with water is absolutely fundamental to the existence of life and to your life. Every day, in every way, you're getting better and better. And water is one of the, if not the main contributing factors. Now, in the Western world, or what we call the first world, water is at this moment an issue, but not a problem. In many parts of the world, water is not just an issue, it's a problem. The problem is twofold. One is potable water, and the other is water for arable land. Now, potable means drinking. There are close to, I think the number now is less than a billion, but let's even use a billion. In other words, 1/8 of the population of the world, close to a billion people, do not have potable water, drinking water at their beck and call. In other words, you could put a faucet in any home and turn it, but if it's not hooked up to a system that's going to bring water through the faucet, then the faucet doesn't work. It's just a decoration. The ability to have water for close to a billion people on this planet is really an issue and a problem. And digging wells is one of the ways that you can help people get potable water. So it's really something to think about. Even in the first world, as population grows, and in many places as population diminishes, water is becoming not just an issue, but maybe even a problem. Certainly where I live in a place called Henderson, Nevada. Henderson, Nevada, outside of Las Vegas, is essentially a desert. Water is a necessity for maintaining this remarkable oasis. Some people scoff at it and such, call it Sin City, but it's not Sin City anymore. It's an entertainment capital. Close to 30 million people per year come through the Las Vegas airport, and 22 plus million people come and stay for more than 3 days at a time. It is a major destination and therefore a major user of water. And there are only a couple of ways that the water actually is available to a place like Las Vegas. But going from Las Vegas, just 200 plus miles to the west, is Los Angeles. Los Angeles, one of the most populated cities in the world, a sprawling megalopolis. Now, we all know what a metropolitan area is. That's a city, a polis. Metro means the outlying area. A megalopolis is a continuous expansion of one city moving to another. So from the southern border of California, which is at San Diego, that's the southern tip, up through Los Angeles and going north to Santa Barbara is essentially one area. It's a megalopolis that has, some 10 to 14 million people. Now, there are some cities in the world like Tokyo or Mexico City that are even more densely populated. You need water for all of those people to drink, to use for irrigation, to use for elimination of waste products. The process of working with water is remarkably complex and complicated. But we're going to go in the remaining few minutes that we have and just talk about the happiness and the joy and the love and the peace that comes with water. So I will mention, just as an aside, that most of the battles and wars that have been conducted over the centuries, even the millennia, oftentimes involve water as much as territory. In other words, when nations were fighting over land, over territory, the land oftentimes was not just mineral rich, but water rich. In other words, Russia right now invading Ukraine really doesn't just want that territory called Ukraine. What it really wants, and it has had since President Obama refused to fight the Russians and gave up on it, the Crimea and a port on the Black Sea, a warm water port. You hear those words? Warm water port on the Black Sea. That was Russia's desire and intent for 1,000 plus years. So countries, cities that are nearby navigable areas of water, either on a river or close to the ocean, again, like Los Angeles, San Diego, those areas are right on the ocean. And the process of the ocean giving up its water through the mists and the vapors and such, and going up into clouds and then bringing it down as fresh water is truly miraculous. I mean the word miracle. It is wonderful, almost beyond understanding. Certainly mine. We know the process, but it is truly a miracle. So we're going to close out in just a couple minutes remaining by, first of all, saying thank you to everybody who comes and listens. We know by the many thousands, people love the Hug America podcast, and we love you back. And we urge you to do two things. Number one, share this with 5 people. That's it, just 5. You want to do it with 50 or 100, it's up to you, but at least 5 people. So we'd have close to 50,000 people listening on a regular basis. And bookmark it. It's the second and fourth Thursday of every month for the rest of your life because it's worth it. It's the Hug America podcast. Again, HUG stands for Heartfelt Unlimited Giving. The genius of water is that it is a giving mechanism. Water is designed to be nourishing, to be flowing, to be good, to be cleansing, to be clean, to be used in a most wonderful way. It is what we call willingly giving. Oftentimes, I'll just leave us with this. When people give, it's as a trade. I'll give you something, you give me something. Willingly giving is not looking for anything in return. That's the genius of water. And we urge everybody to be like water or be more water-like, willingly giving. So what we like to do, Neal and I, when we close out our Hug America podcast, is to involve everybody with a hug and a blessing. So here we go. Remember, hug, heartfelt, unlimited giving. 1, 2, 3. And our blessing from Neal and Barry on this great podcast about water. Go forth, live exuberantly, spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference.